This week on the Road with Mickey, tips for getting the most out of your winter trip to Disney.
We're on the road with Mickey. We're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go. We're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie,
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
and he's Grogu, and he's like, where have you all been?
I've been just hanging out here on Sophie.
I've been waiting. My Skype has been running, and ain't nobody connected.
Sorry, buddy. It's been a very busy holiday season.
Oh my gosh, it sure has.
And we
we
hope
missed you.
everyone else has had a wonderful holiday season as well, because we certainly did.
We did.
Yes.
We did. So many memories were made this past month. And we are recording on January 1st. So we want to say to everyone listening, Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year indeed.
Here's to hoping it's better than last year.
Yep.
Yes. And this is episode 249 for January 6th, 2025, which has two very important meanings. January 6th is my dad, Sophie's grandfather, her grandpa. It is his birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy
birthday, Grandpa.
He is a young 85 today.
Fab.
Goodness. In the prime of his life.
I know. And it also is the 5th anniversary of episode 1 of On the Road with Mickey, which was a very amateurish, is the best way to put it, introduction on why are we doing this show.
Well, you know what? I think we've come very far.
Yes, and congratulations. Got to celebrate that.
Thank you. And you know what, Brenda?
What?
You're coming up on almost 200 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that you'd have stuck around with me for that long? You have no problem sticking around with Sophie, but I figured at some point you're going to be like, Mike, I just can't stick it anymore. See ya.
But I've been hanging out with you for 13 years, Mike.
I know. And like a bad penny, I keep turning up. Anyway.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, I love you, Brenda.
I love y'all too. I'm happy to be here, and I appreciate the show, and I'm so glad you started it when Sophie moved away, and it was just a great way for y'all to stay connected. So we're just keep on rocking along.
We do.
Well, even now that I'm home, and I've been home for quite a while now, it's still a good way to stay connected.
I agree.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This week, our feature topic is tips for getting the most out of your winter trip to Disney. You know, with our life and schedules and everything like that, we were going to post this episode before we got into winter.
Before Christmas.
But, you know, life happens.
A Disney trip got in the way. Doggone.
Oh, not even just a Disney trip, just the season in general. I have worked so many days.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're a little bit late. Sorry about that, everyone. But these tips are very good tips for how you can really maximize your trip in the winter if you are planning a trip during the winter. Because let's face it, if you're in Wisconsin, you might want to go to Disney right now. It might be so dang cold. One of my buddies in Michigan, when he connected onto a Zoom call, he said it's negative 25.
Oh,
and I'm
my
like,
gosh.
oh, so yeah, there might be times where this might be useful if you want to get away from the winter. But before we get into that, we have some cheddar from the big cheese. And Sophie, you start us off this week.
All right. Well, I have the most adorable cheddar of the episode today. Recently over at Disney's Animal Kingdom Park, the baby African elephant Cora, born to mom Nadira, just celebrated her first birthday, and we are going to include a link in the show notes of the birthday party that she enjoyed.
That's so sweet. Oh,
I love baby animals.
That link, if we could share a video that worked well on our recording, it would be so cool to do, but it doesn't. But that video is so stinking cute. So, ladies,
awesome.
If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Definitely.
Over at Universal Studios Florida, the big news besides Epic Universe opening in May, which, you know what, you're blinking, it's going to be May, because we blinked and it was December, and we blinked and it was Thanksgiving, and we blinked and it was Halloween. So you're going to blink and Epic Universe is going to be open. But in other news, though, at Universal Studios Florida, the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket roller coaster is going to be closing in September of 2025 to make way for a new attraction. I don't have any idea.
A new to be named attraction.
Yeah, I don't know what that entails yet, but Rip Ride Rocket is going to be going away, and
I bet it's going to be good.
I never rode Rip Ride Rocket because I didn't like the idea.
Oh, no.
Straight up.
No.
But I'm pretty sure my mom tried to go ride it, but then when we were at Universal Studios last, there was some weather complications.
She and Randy were going to ride it, and they got in line and they waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, and it ended up closing because, like Sophie said, some sort of complications, weather or malfunction or whatever. But
yeah, I wonder what's coming.
I don't know.
Well, I know what's coming to Disney, and it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Say it with me. Free dining is coming back. Free dining is literally legit coming back. Bookings started on January 2nd, and they go through February 10th with travel dates from May 27th to June 26th and July 7th through August 6th, 2025. If you stay at a value or a moderate property, you can get a quick service dining plan for free.
Ooh.
If you stay at a deluxe or deluxe villa property, you can get a Disney dining plan for free. It just requires that you add the park hopper option to your tickets. So if you want to get pricing, contact Mike at pixievacations.com or me at Brenda@pixievacations.com, and we will be happy to get a quote together for you so you can see what it looks like. I think it looks great. I'm thrilled about it.
And question, Brenda. Existing reservations, can they be converted as well?
They sure can.
Okay. I was a little confused, and I don't usually get confused, but I was a little confused because it said, non-discounted new booking is what I thought I read starting on January 2nd.
Yeah.
And so I thought, is it only new bookings? But no.
We'll be able to apply it.
Okay. And usually you can, but for whatever reason, my brain was confused. So there you go.
It's all right. I'm excited.
That is big cheddar. It is a big
cheddar.
Big promotion. So if you're a travel agent listening, make sure you ate your Wheaties that morning.
Not the truth.
Anyway, don't forget, you can connect with us. You can connect with us on our Facebook page. OnTheRoadWithMickey.com is the Facebook page. A Facebook group is our On the Road with Mickey Facebook group. YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, then you're already on our channel. So subscribe and like and get the notifications for when we have a new episode. Our Instagram channel over at On the Road with Mickey on Instagram. Email address. you can email us at info@ontheroadwithmickey.com. Who would have thought all these have On the Road with Mickey?
I know it. You are consistent. If you are nothing else, you are
And
consistent.
our website where all of this ties together is ontheroadwithmickey.com. Now,
Oh,
I had an email
fab.
from my friend Pam, and she had some listener feedback on our Christmas trip recap show.
Yay.
So I thought I would read to you all her email because she had a memory that she has with her family. She just said, I just got time to listen to your recap of your Christmas trip, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Pam. We enjoyed
Thank
it as
you.
well. I have a favorite Christmas Disney memory to share. Once we were there at what was then MGM Studios during the days of the Osborne family Christmas lights.
Oh.
All of a sudden, it was time for them to come on. And as we stood there on the streets, bam, they turned on and the snowflakes started falling. And we just stood there taking in all the beautiful lights.
Oh, wow.
We just happened to be at the right place at the right time. You know what we call
Boy,
that,
was
Pam?
she.
We know where we call that. We call that Disney
Disney magic.
That's Disney magic.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely. I
Pam,
love that story. I miss Osborne so much.
I do too. I didn't see them, but I was so glad that we were able to see them at Give Kids the World. That was
Hollywood
memorable.
Studios will never be the same without them.
Yeah. But thank you, Pam, for sharing that treasure. That's what it is. Memories are treasures that we need to remember. So, all right. Well, it is time for our feature topic, tips for getting the most out of your winter trip to Disney. So, we thought we would share some tips. A lot of people travel to Disney during the winter, like we were saying, if it's negative 82 degrees in Michigan.
Then it would feel very, very comfy in that 64 degrees or something like that in Orlando.
Yeah. So you can kind of tell when people are from the far north when you see them at Disney and it's cold out and they're wearing shorts.
Yep, that's a dead giveaway.
It's kind of a giveaway on whether or not they're from a northern part of the state or the country.
Yes, definitely.
So,
Well, I mean, this is going back, of course, to our most recent trip, Daddy. When we left North Carolina to go down to Florida, it was, 25 degrees Fahrenheit?
yeah.
Oh my.
And I am not exaggerating when I say that.
It was cold.
It was freezing.
Yes.
Wow.
And oh my gosh, I loved Florida so much. I love that temperature because it was nice. It was like a high of 70 one day. And I got to wear not layers. I got to wear only one article of clothing on each section of my body. I didn't have to wear 2 pairs of pants or 2 shirts plus a jacket. It was nice.
We were blessed with excellent weather the entire time we were there. It was really beautiful.
It was. Yeah. It was. It got a little windy at times, though.
It did.
That's okay.
And you know, so I have a tip. I'll start us off.
Good.
And my tip is, and this applies, I think, to all of the seasons at Walt Disney World, but maybe more so for winter. And that tip is to stay on top of the weather conditions.
Oh, yeah.
Start looking at your phone weather app. Look at it for Florida, for Walt Disney World, for Bay Lake, for Lake Buena Vista, for Kissimmee, for, all the different areas around there, and see what they're saying for the next several days out, because that will make a big difference. I'll give you a real life story. In 2001, Cindy and I We're expecting Sophie,
Oh.
and we had some time off in
Mm-hmm.
January, and we flew. We were like, let's go to Disney. So, not knowing anything, we flew to Tampa and rented a car and drove to Orlando, got a hotel, and every morning we would drive back to Disney because I
Oh
didn't
my
know anything.
goodness.
And
Wow.
but we thought, we're going to Florida. It's going to be warm. And it was like highs in the low 50s. The wind was blowing at like 25 miles an hour. And we're sitting there in jeans and t shirts and freezing.
Yeah,
Freezing. I'm telling you, we were freezing.
That,
I
Daddy,
got it.
is where you cut your losses and you buy one of the very expensive theme park jackets.
Yes. We didn't buy jackets, but we bought sweatshirts. They were, and
Yeah.
we were twinning it because they were both Mickey Mouse sweatshirts. It was so
Honestly,
cool.
I'm
So
sure you
cute.
both looked adorable.
Me
Being
Oh,
husband
too.
and
we
wife,
did.
I don't see why it's a bad thing to twin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's sweet.
and you know what? I don't know what happened to mine, but the writing and whatnot on it came off fairly quickly after we got home. It didn't last as long, but
Oh,
Cindy still wears hers to this day.
oh, that is awesome.
So we got our money worth out of it, you
Yeah.
know?
Sounds
But
to me like you accidentally washed yours outside on the
yeah,
outside
probably
instead of
did.
inside out.
I probably did. But anyway,
Maybe.
it so be on top of those weather conditions. Don't think just because you're going to Florida, it is sunshine and
Hmm.
lollipops,
I
because
will
that's
Yeah.
tell
not
you
always the
though,
case.
I
Yeah.
will tell you, I have noticed a pattern. If you're going in the warmer seasons like spring and summer, always expect rain.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Always, because I can, with almost always accurate report, it seems like from March to maybe September or so, that's when the rainy season is. And then because in December, when we went last, wasn't a single cloud in the sky. There
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
not a drop of rain to be found. So that is one thing I can tell you to predict.
Yep.
Yep. And
All
I'll tell
right.
you also, in just another note that I had added to the notes is if you are not from a place where you have high humidity, like where I live, and you go to Florida, that humidity will impact your feel. You can feel
Hmm.
like you're freezing to death because of the humidity there. So just
Yeah.
be prepared for that if you don't live in a place that has humidity.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So in the end, it all comes down to weather. Be prepared. Pack different
Be
layers.
prepared.
Yep. Pack layers. Expect the worst and be excited when you get the best because you're at Disney,
Yay.
you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A bad day at Disney is better than any day anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. All right. So, another tip. Sophie, you
Hmm.
want to read the second one?
Why are we talking about the Run Disney events?
That's the third one, the one above it.
Okay. Got it. Refurbishments. That is something that will happen almost year round, let's be honest, but it especially seems to happen in the winter because that is when the off season is technically for theme parks because you've got the majority of kids, they have the big summer break, and so their parents all want to go to Disney sometime while the kid's not in school, and that's almost always in the summer. So that's the on season. So in the winter, when it's the off season, the crowds are supposed to be lower. That doesn't necessarily mean they are lower because you've also got the holidays. But during that time, is when a lot of the attractions that you know may be running at not the optimum capacity, or they may be closed down entirely to perform maintenance on them. I know with the water parks, Disney has 2 water parks, and they are open interchangeably from each other. Typhoon Lagoon is open in the summer, and it closes down in the winter, but that's okay because then you have Blizzard Beach, which is specifically designed to be a winter water park because all of its pools are heated. But
Yeah.
just keep that in mind.
Yeah. And the ones that came to my mind immediately um, were former Splash Mountain
Right.
Mhm.
and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Now,
I'm
Big Thunder Mountain
curious.
Railroad is it closed now?
Yep. It's
Okay,
closed now for a year.
Yep,
because
it
of the
will
big
open.
refurbishment. But Tiana's Bayou Adventure is not closing
Yeah, just
um,
because it opened recently.
It
because it
opened
opened
recently,
recently.
and also you don't want to close down 2 major attractions at once.
Right, especially when they're side by side like that. So
Mhm.
so there's a little bit of difference this year in 2025 for that. Um,
Mhm.
but but usually what they would do is Big Thunder Mountain would close for a short while to do its refurbishment, and then Splash Mountain and now slash Tiana's Bayou Adventure would close either before or after. So they weren't closed at the same time usually, but
Nope.
those are some that do um, tend to have refurbishments.
Mhm.
Um, Now, Sophie asked, why are we talking about Run Disney? I'll tell you, because Run Disney has 2 sets of events in the winter, January 8th through the 12th for the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, and February 20th through the 24th for the Disney Princess Half Marathon weekend. And usually, not always, but usually, when those events are going on, the crowds at the parks are a little bit elevated.
Yeah, that's true.
I was looking at the Run Disney website. Every single race in the January marathon weekend is completely sold out.
Yep.
Mm.
And in February, I think the only thing that has availability is like some sort of yoga thing. Um, I'm not a yoga person, so
Yoga in the park.
yeah, I think so. Um, which would be kind of cool. You had to pay $112 or something for it, but it would be kind of cool, and it's at 5 a.m. in the morning, so get your stretch on. But anyway, those are going to be events that draw a lot of people that come down because they make a trip out of it. So there will be times, even though it's not necessarily always off peak, or it's usually off peak, there will be times when there are bigger crowds. So that's why we're talking about Run Disney events. So be prepared for the crowd levels to increase for those weekends.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right.
Also, there's other events that happen
Mhm.
for the end of January. If you're staying at a value property, you'll notice there's a lot of teenagers for the dance competitions and stuff. They pack the value property, so
Yeah.
be prepared for long lines in the food court, etc. If you're going to be
Mhm.
there when they're there.
Yeah. Or maybe just do mobile order because that can help a lot,
Yes, a lot.
especially if you're good with your phone like me and my dad are.
That's right.
I like mobile ordering. So convenient.
It is. It is. It really is.
Yeah. But one reason you might want to, Sophie, do you want to talk about that one? One
You might
reason why you might want to go in the winter?
Hmm. Sure. Yeah, I'll talk about it. I've never actually done this one, so it's kind of new to me, but this is the Festival of the Arts. And this one specifically, it's one of the shortest festivals that Epcot has, if not the shortest festival.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because it takes place starting in mid-January and it goes through late February. Almost all of the other um, festivals, sorry, the word escaped me for a minute. Almost all the other festivals you see will be going on for at least 2 months at the very shortest. even 3 if it's like the Flower and Garden or the Food and Wine. But the Festival of the Arts is exactly what it says. It is dedicated to artwork. So you have like the Festival of the Holidays, dedicated to holiday traditions and whatnot. Food and Wine, obviously, Food and Wine, Flower and Garden, Flower and Garden Festival. This one, I've never been able to experience it. And maybe I should sometime.
Yeah.
They do some really neat things, especially with food.
Hmm.
Yeah. We love food.
Yeah.
Mm,
Food, glorious
food.
food. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Can't take me anywhere.
Can't take. We love food around here.
We
Yeah,
do.
I think Festival of the Arts is shorter because it's got such a compressed area that it can be in. You've got Christmas ending in January. You got the um,
Flower and Garden
flowering
starts
gardening
up
starting
in,
in March.
yeah,
Yeah.
with the
So
coming of spring.
got just a small little window to have that, and so I think
Yeah.
that's why it's such a short festival.
Yeah.
Um,
But
so
people really love it.
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's not all negative about going in the winter. There are things that are
Yeah.
really kind of cool that you
Hmm.
can be able to do. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind. Um, other things that you might want to do and other tips to just keep in mind. And some of this, I think, is perhaps a little bit of common sense, but also it works year round, is just to make sure that you take time to just take it easy and enjoy being there. You know,
Yeah.
that's a
Hmm.
year round tip. Um, don't just be so go 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 that you miss out on, seeing, I don't know, Princess Jasmine walk out of Morocco like she did that time when Sophie was little. You
Yeah.
know, you
Just
know,
try to take
just
it all in.
take it all in and just remember to breathe, stop and smell the roses, which is a common refrain for me, but it's true.
And what's funny is that we're talking about winter when the roses aren't in bloom.
Yeah, which yeah, that's the
Yeah.
figure of speech, but
Yeah.
just take it easy and just
Yep.
enjoy being there.
Hmm.
But you do need to plan your days a bit differently than you do in spring and summer because, the hours are shorter. So the
Yeah.
parks close
Yeah.
earlier in the winter time than they do in the spring, summer, and fall. So instead of staying open like Magic Kingdom, mid-January we'll stop staying open till 11 p.m. and start staying open only until 9. So you need to be sure you're packing in your stuff because the parks will close earlier. Animal Kingdom will close at 6 o'clock.
Well,
They're
Animal
the
Kingdom always
animals.
closes at 6 o'clock.
No, it's
No.
actually open till 8 in December and November and
Really?
various other. Oh yeah. And
Huh.
then Epcot stays open till 11 in December, but it closes at 9 in January, February. Yeah, so
I
Hmm.
see.
just be aware that the closing times are earlier. So
Yeah.
Got it.
Which, and that actually begs the and we don't do this. Sophie and I we're not rope droppers.
Mm-mm. I mean, we have done rope drop, I think, once recently.
Yeah.
I
But
think.
we're not typically rope droppers. But if the park isn't open as late in the day, maybe that changes your
Yeah.
idea a little bit
plan.
and you do become a rope dropper.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can go to bed earlier since the parks close earlier and then get up
Yeah.
earlier.
Hmm?
If you want. If you want
So,
to, it's your trip. So do whatever you want.
right, it's your vacation, you
Yeah.
know?
Just keep in mind that in the winter time you may want to move a little slower or just take it
Might
a
want to
little
hibernate.
easier. Yeah. Hibernate like a bear.
Yeah.
Oh, golf. Well, and don't forget that right now, in the last several days, was the start of every Disney resort guest getting Blizzard Beach for their day of arrival for free. So, if you want to wear a wetsuit or you want to wear a rash guard and you want to go to Blizzard Beach on your arrival day, that is something new that started this winter. So you can do that if you like. Or if
And
you're,
remember,
used to cold weather, it'd be warmer probably for you.
yeah,
Maybe.
and remember, heated pools.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love Blizzard Beach's lazy river. That is a good lazy river.
It is a good reason. But I would be at least in a long sleeve rash guard over my
And
swimsuit, if
keep
not
in
a little
mind,
wetsuit.
even if the water's warm because it's heated, once you get out of that water, it is
Yeah.
not heated no more.
Yeah, I think that attending it during this time will depend largely on where the guests are coming from.
Yeah.
You're
But
right.
it is a special perk, so take advantage if you like to. Or you can threaten your kids and tell them if they're bad, you're going to take them to Blizzard Beach and make them freeze to death. No, I'm just playing.
Or
Oh my
that they're
gosh,
not
Aunt
going to
Brenda.
Blizzard Beach. I remember one year Sophie was in kindergarten, I think, and we came up for spring break, and we went to Myrtle Beach. And so this is the end of March. We're in Myrtle Beach, South
I
Carolina,
remember with
and it
April
was
Fool's Day was during that trip, and I tried to April Fool's you with something, and it didn't work.
no, it didn't. But the rest of my story is that Sophie was determined that she was going to get into the water. And she had on her little one piece, I think it was Little Mermaid bathing suit. I might be wrong
Yep.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
And went into the water, and she was loving it. Cindy and I were like, we are not getting in the water. And she was like, she was sitting where the waves came up to the shore. But her legs turned so red from the cold water. I'm
Oh, I
like, girl, you
bet.
got to get out of there.
Yeah, she got to get
She looked like a
hypothermia.
lobster. Her legs were as red as your shirt, Brenda.
Oh no, poor thing. And Sophie's fair complected.
And she had don't be poor thing in her because she was loving life.
That's
Listen,
important. That's important.
you
She
don't
was
go
living
to
her best life.
the beach and then not get in the water. Okay,
Okay,
so maybe
true.
you do, but in my little 5-year-old mind, you do not go to the beach without getting in the water.
One
Well, and
does
your
not, Soap.
5-year-old mind also probably never knew that the water wasn't always cold like that. I mean, you've never been.
Right. One does not go to the beach and not get in the water.
Exactly. Like, what else is the beach for?
Collecting seashells
Well,
Yep.
and
yes, I
sand
know that.
dollars and
That's
shark
what your
teeth.
that's what your Mima likes to do, Sophie.
And building sandcastles and flying
Yeah,
kites, all of which good
exactly.
things that I had no idea about.
Yeah.
Yeah. We flew a kite on that trip too.
Adora
And
the
it was
Explorer
Dora
kite.
the Explorer kite. We got it at the dollar store, Brenda. It
And
was
mommy flew
awesome.
it up
Love
so
it.
high, I was sure from my little tiny kid perspective, she was flying it high enough that a plane could hit it.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
But
Yeah.
I'm
That's
sure
a
she
great
wasn't
memory.
because I'm sure that string was only about 50 feet.
Yeah.
Probably less.
But it was fun. That was a
Great
fun
memory.
trip. Great memory. But anyway, yeah, Blizzard Beach on your arrival date. I had
Yeah.
forgotten about that entirely.
Yeah. Yeah. They can do that. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, and also don't forget that all throughout the winter, Disney brought back the after hours events, which for my family, I love the after hours events. I will pay extra to be in the park when fewer people are in the park
Oh,
every
yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all throughout January at Magic Kingdom. They're at Hollywood Studios, like throughout the winter, Epcot, just not at Animal Kingdom. But if that's something you're interested in doing, is purchasing a ticket to the special events, after hours events, they are a lot of fun and they're a lot less crowded. Even though, I mean, to me, the winter time is just not crowded, but still a lot of fun to be there when it's
It is a lot of
really
fun. It
Yeah.
is
not
a lot of
crowded.
fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yay.
Get
I
free
want to go
ice
back.
cream.
I want to go back
Oh
now.
my gosh, get free ice cream. Mickey premium ice cream bars.
Hmm.
Popcorn. Oh,
I want to go.
So there's a lot of neat things that you can consider doing. And the other thing to keep in mind, this works in the summer and everything as well. When it's super hot outside, you go inside. When it's
Yeah,
super cold outside, you
you
go
go
inside
inside.
because it's going to
That's
be
right.
warmer because they'll have
That's
the heat
right.
on. So don't forget about all that.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's common sense, but sometimes people don't think about it. There's a lot of things to do, especially at the Magic Kingdom. There's a lot of things to ride and so forth that are indoor attractions.
Yeah.
So
Another good reason to dress in layers, because if you go in and it's warmer, you don't want to be in a shirt, and smothered to death inside, so that you can stay nice and toasty outside.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know how much this is relevant anymore, but on that January 2001 trip, we were able to walk right up for Cinderella table and other places like that for dining reservations.
Wow.
We didn't have to make
Wow.
reservations. That's probably not the case now,
Mm-mm.
but you still might be able to snag a reservation that you might not thought that you'd be able to,
Yeah.
because it's not as busy in the days.
Yeah.
So just keep your options open on what you want to do. Have a plan of attack. That's very important. You want to have an idea of what you're going to be doing and when you want to do it. Um, Brenda, in the winter, do you think Lightning Lane, multi-pass, and single pass are as big an issue?
I wouldn't think. I wouldn't think so.
I think it
I
depends.
think it's good to check the crowd calendar, and we have a
Yeah.
Pixie Vacations crowd calendar, so it's,
Mhm.
it's always good to check it, but generally, no.
Yeah. I mean,
Now,
the
if it's
times that
uh
President's
President's
weekend.
Day is
Yeah.
February, I think. That weekend
Mhm.
will be busy.
Yeah.
Is that the
And
only
let's see
Martin
here.
Luther King Jr.'s birthday is usually celebrated on a Monday as well. So that's
Uh-huh.
usually like somebody can
That's
get
on the
like,
20th.
those anything that involves a holiday that creates a 3-day weekend is just generally busier.
February 17th is President's Day. Um, and then like we were saying, um the
Martin
Run
Luther King
Disney
Jr., I think,
events.
is
The
January.
Run Disney events are going to be busier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So check the
so
crowd calendar and,
yeah,
plan accordingly. Generally,
Hmm.
I don't think it's going to be necessary.
right. So just keep that in mind. That might be some savings for you. So definitely something to keep in mind though. Um, food.
Food, glorious food.
I love food.
I love food too. I love food too.
Me too.
Um, During the Festival of the Arts, they have unique things that they don't have other times. Sometimes, not always, but that might be a fun thing to look around and see what you can get. You know, um,
Yeah.
one of the things that we liked in the December trip, Sophie was going around getting all the different little gingerbread things. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, that was so cool, and she bought me some gingerbread stuff. So thank you,
And Aunt
Sophie.
Robin did too, by
Yeah.
accident.
I want to think at the Festival of the Arts, they had I think it was a cookie, and then it had like a paintbrush kind of thing, and it had a artist palette with different colored icings,
I
and you
have
could
seen
decorate the
those
cookie,
types of
and those are
things.
really neat. They have neat things like that at the Festival of the Arts. I think
Let's
it was
see.
a cookie. At first, I thought it was a cupcake, but no, I don't think. I think it's a cookie.
Food Studios. Check back soon for more details. Okay. The Wonderful Walk of Colorful Cuisine. A
Nice.
journey to savor. Set out on a tasty trek around Epcot featuring 7 vibrant dishes and a Technicolor treat to enjoy at the end of your journey.
Nice.
Use your festival passport to look for these special menu items. Track your progress. Collect a stamp. Once you've enjoyed at least 5 of the 7 dishes and collected the corresponding stamps, bring your stamped festival passport to the Deco Delights Food Studio to receive a complimentary artist palette cookie.
There you go.
But check back soon for more details because they are still working those out.
Yeah, I think you can decorate it with the different colors of icing around the palette. It's really cute looking.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's with royal icing. So what you do is you take a brush, you dip it in like some water, and then run the brush over the different little dollops of royal icing in the colors, and it will take the pigment, but it won't take the icing itself. And then you can just transfer the pigment onto different other parts of the cookie.
That's cool.
It is.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Especially for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, I wanted to see if I could flesh out some more information on the dates. So Magic Kingdom Park after hours are from January 6th through May 19th. And it looks like it's a once a week event during January, February,
I think
and
it's
February.
like Tuesday nights, or I have them in my calendar here.
Monday night, the 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th. So tonight is the first after hour night at the Magic Kingdom.
Mhm.
February 3rd, 10, 17, and 24. And then I wanted to see what it was for Hollywood
Studios are Wednesday nights.
Okay.
And then Epcot, I think, is later in the week. Epcot's Thursday nights, but they don't start till February.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're sprinkled about through the
They
winter
are.
season.
So keep that in mind. Ticket
I have
prices
guests going on February 3rd.
and
families going in.
in
I want to go.
Hollywood Studios, it's only a couple nights each month. And the prices are about $185 for adults, $155 for kids. So, and it's extra 3 hours. It's 9:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. So you get
$390, $450 for 2 adults to go on February 3rd to Magic Kingdom. But they took their 3-day ticket, took it down to a 2-day ticket, so they saved a lot, and then used that ticket for that day. So
yeah,
you can always maneuver your trip to be how you want it.
Right, exactly. It's kind of like what we did. We got in on December 6th for the Christmas trip.
Yeah.
And we went to Epcot on the 7th all day. And all day was all day. And then we didn't go to the Magic Kingdom until we went to the Christmas party. So we got there at 4 p.m. and we were there till after midnight.
It was so much fun.
All day was all day for them too.
It was so much fun.
It was so cool. But that way we bought one ticket for the party and we bought 1 day of park tickets because we went home the next day, on the Monday. So yeah, you use these sorts of things to kind of plan out your trip, and that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the planning. If you go into Disney without a plan, chances are you're going to be stressed more than if you had a plan, and it might make for a harder trip. So
yeah,
another reason to use an agent. Just saying.
Exactly. Give Brenda a call. Give me a call.
I'd like a call.
Say, hey, this is what I want to do, and we'll figure out how to make it happen the best way for you.
Yep.
So there's several little tips we've got in here. I hope everyone found it informative and useful. Is there anything that we need to include that we did not say already, ladies?
Not that I can think of.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, then it is now time for This Day in Disney History for January 6th, 2025.
Yay.
All right. And funnily enough, I asked why we were talking about Run Disney, but
Oh.
that's what I'm talking about for my history. It's just not something I always associated with winter. But back in the year of 2002, the 9th annual Walt Disney World Marathon kicks off. A record field of 13,500 entrants take off for the Walt Disney World Marathon, while another 5,000 entrants take part for the Walt Disney World Half Marathon. Di Roberts, a British naval officer stationed at Virginia Beach, Virginia, wins the marathon with a time of 2 hours, 32 minutes, and 38 seconds. Other winners on this day include Ilda A. Santos from Brazil. There are so many winners here. Okay, I'm going to speed run them all. Ida A. Santos, I said. Perry W. Small, yep. Carol Postigo, Saul Mendoza, Catherine Hunter, Gabriel Rodriguez, Monica R. Hosteller, Michael Bird, Shannon Schaefer, and that is all of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There were a lot of winners.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people.
There were a lot of
13,000,
people.
14,000, really? Combined between
18,500.
13,500 plus, oh yeah, 5,000. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was 500. Oh my gosh. So
Mike,
many
we were in our
people.
30s back then. We should have been running that marathon. I'm just saying.
Just saying. You
Missed
have fun with that one,
opportunity.
Brenda. You
Missed
have fun with that
opportunity.
marathon, Brenda.
Yeah, you were okay, Aunt Brenda. Daddy was taking care of a 1-year-old at that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, almost one.
Almost. Point is, Daddy was a dad.
Yep.
My
Brenda
youngest was 9.
So
Wow.
Brenda was a mom.
Yeah, already had 3 kids by then.
Just saying.
Amazing.
Brenda the overachiever.
Man, it happens fast.
All right.
All right.
Uh-oh, time to stump the Soph. Dun,
Just
dun,
for the record, everyone, Sophie is 172-3 in this book.
Fabulous. That is
That's
fabulous.
a guess, but it's probably not far off, is my guess.
Are you in the new book?
No,
Not yet. The new
old
book is with me.
This is the last week
Okay.
of the Disney Who's Who and A to Z of Disney characters.
All right.
Starting
And
next
then we're
week,
going to this one.
starting next week, we will have a different book, the Pixar Character Encyclopedia. So we
that's
will
awesome.
maybe see if we can stump Sophie a little bit more. So I have 3 characters, Sophie.
Okay.
And I want you to guess the movie. And this first one would be a dead giveaway, so I am only giving the first and middle name.
That's
And
cool.
Okay.
name is Tamara Jean.
Tamara Jean?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The second group is a pair of characters. And it is Duncan and Winchell.
Duncan and Winchell.
And
Yep.
those are the
Germany?
3?
Nope, there's one more. And his name is Sour Bill.
Oh, Wreck-It Ralph. Who on earth is Tamara?
Tamara Jean Calhoun is Sergeant Calhoun.
Oh.
And it says Sergeant Calhoun's name is not revealed until the epilogue of the film.
Well, no
wonder. Yeah, how was she ever supposed to get that?
Because Sophie watches through to the end of the credits.
No, I don't.
Well, you would have seen the epilogue, though.
Well, Sour Bill got her.
And I thought Tamara Jean, she has Sophie's middle name, Jean.
Spelled the same way?
Jean, yeah. And then Duncan and Winchell are the cops that don't eat donuts because they are donuts.
Oh, you know what? Dunkin' makes sense. Dunkin' Donuts.
There
Yep.
you go. And they
Don't know
run
what the other
security
one
for King
was.
Candy. And of course, Sour Bill is not the sweetest candy in Sugar Rush.
Definitely not.
So,
Wow.
so
Very good,
those are the
Sophie.
characters. So,
Again,
as always, like I
she's the
said,
best.
Sophie's the best.
She's the bomb.
So, all right. So that is our last Stump the Soph. Let's have a moment of silence for the Disney Who's Who and A to Z of Disney characters.
Starting
I'm
a new
sure-
book next time. Yay.
I'm sure there were a couple of characters you could have wrung out of that one.
Yeah. I'm sure
Quite
there
a
are
few.
too. Yeah.
It's all right, though. We've had that book for how many years?
5.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
249 episodes.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Wow, that's fab.
Well, that takes us to Miss Brenda and a little bit of Walt. Why don't
We
you
love the
close
man.
us off? Why don't
All
you close
right.
us out, Brenda?
All right. Here we experience the story of our country's past, the colorful drama of frontier America in the exciting days of the covered wagon and the stagecoach, the advent of the railroad, and the romantic riverboat. Frontierland is a tribute to the faith, courage, and ingenuity of the pioneers who blazed the trails across America. And that he spoke about Frontierland at Disneyland. Walt Disney.
Walt Disney.
Because he never got to see the Frontierland at Disney World.
Nope, he didn't.
Nope.
Thank you, Brenda.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
I love our Walt quotes.
Yep.
I
Love
do
Walt.
too.
Yeah. Well, my friends, that wraps us up for this week. Next week is a big deal. A very big deal.
A very big deal.
We are celebrating our 250th episode.
No pressure.
Whoop.
And we are going to be talking about our top 5 international destinations.
Okay,
So-
that's easy.
That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. 250 episodes though.
Oh my gosh.
It just boggles my mind a bit, you know?
Crazy.
So thank
Amazing.
you for everyone that's been with us all this time. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you
it's
to our
just-
silent partner as well.
Yes, because she's the one who gave me my microphone that I use
Oh,
for
very
Christmas 5 years ago, and it's done very well for me. So until next time, we hope you all have a wonderful week, a great start to 2025. And we hope that everything is running smoothly for you. If you are having a great week, make sure you put a smile on your face like Brenda has. And if you're having a tough week, maybe someone will loan you one of theirs. But until next week, I'm Mike. She's Sophie. That's Brenda. And he's Grogu. And we will see you on the road. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.